Welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Niner Faithful. I'm Jason, your host. Today we'll be talking about Brandon Aiyuk, his signing, a little bit about Trent Williams, a little bit about the initial 53-man roster, probably not what it's currently at the moment. And of course, we'll dive in right away to what happened with Ricky Pearsall. But before I start, just want to let you know that it'd be great if you could like, comment, and subscribe. I finally hit that 50 subscribers, so thank you for all that have done that. I've done some testing this weekend of going live. So if you want to check those out, go ahead. I mentioned the thing about Aiyuk. That was before the whole Ricky Pearsall incident. So if you could go check those out and let me know, give me some comments, see what you thought, because that hopefully will be how I will be handling things when I'm at the Week 2 game against the Vikings. So let me know. All right, so let's get into the big news. When I first saw it, it was a little surprise to me. At first, I thought it was one of those sites that say really horrible things and they really aren't true, and it ends up being true. So, San Francisco 49ers rookie wide receiver Ricky Pearsall was shot on Saturday during attempted robbery in broad daylight. I think it wasn't quite at Union Square. It was really near, though. In broad daylight, though, that was nuts to me. But hey, crime these days, it's everywhere, not just in Frisco. So Pearsall, who's just 23, was rushed to the Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital with a bullet wound to his chest. Thankfully, the good news is he was already released. He wasn't even there 24 hours, just a hair less, so we might as well just say a day. But he was released on Sunday, and he was shot in the chest. He's incredibly lucky to be alive, just plain and simple. His mom, Erin Pearsall, took to social media, of course, and thanking God for protecting her son. She mentioned how the bullet missed all of Ricky's vital organs, which was a miracle all by itself. It doesn't matter what religion you are. That's a miracle in anybody's book. She wrote, and I quote, "He was shot in the chest, and it exited out his back. Thanks be to God, it missed his vital organs. It's a miracle, really." Yes, it is truly a miracle that it didn't hit anything, and it went through. It was through and through, and that he's already out of the hospital. He's recovering at home. There's a statement from the 49ers. San Francisco wide receiver Ricky Pearsall was released from the hospital this afternoon, and he continues to recover from a bullet wound to his chest. He and his family, along with the entire San Francisco 49ers organization, would like to thank the San Francisco Police Department, Emergency Medical Services, doctors, and staff at San Francisco General Hospital. It's just weird. They also mentioned that Ricky is on the road to recovery. This incident really highlights the random violence that can happen to anyone, anywhere, even our beloved 49ers football team. It could happen to anybody. It could happen to anybody in your family. It's just so random. It's it's terrible. I hope and pray that someday that is no longer there. Okay, so with that said, according to the San Francisco Police Department, the shooting happened around 4 p.m. on Saturday when a 17-year-old suspect from Tracy, California, attempted to rob Pearsall for his Rolex watch. Physical altercation ensued, leading to both Pearsall and the subject getting injured. The police have since confirmed that Pearsall wasn't targeted because he was a player. It was just a random street robbery. The suspect is now in custody and charges are pending. San Francisco Police Chief William Scott said that they are still investigating and that there's a possibility that more people were involved. He assures the public that they are doing everything that they can to ensure justice is served. The incident has shaken the city and, of course, the 49ers community. San Francisco Mayor London Breed called it a terrible and rare event, emphasizing how unacceptable this kind of violence is in the city. Pearsall, who was a first-round draft pick, has already been dealing with a shoulder injury during the preseason, but he had just returned to practice last week. His mom's post on Facebook really hits home when she says, "Life is so precious, my friends. Please love each other. My son was spared today by the grace of God. Please pray for my baby boy." She didn't say the boy part, just my baby. So, with that said, I still am in shock. Simply in shock because of what happened. It happens every day to people that you've never heard of, which is why it probably never gets reported like this. So it's something you need to keep in the back of your mind that, hey, life is precious and we should all be getting along. It shouldn't matter what race, creed, religion, male, female, trans, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're all people. We should all be happy and we should all, how can I put it the best? How about a good Bill and Ted thing? Be good to one another. Be good to each other. That's the best message I can present because with this whole thing. It just doesn't. It shouldn't just matter that it's Pearsall that got shot. There are people that get shot daily, and it needs to stop. Just plain and simple. All right, let's move on to something a little more positive, shall we? This past week also, and I mentioned it in my live test, my outside live test, that Brandon Aiyuk, he's finally, the never-ending saga of Brandon Aiyuk. He's finally signed he signed a 4-year deal, 120 million extension with 76 million guaranteed. Of course, this whole thing came after a lot of back and forth with rumors swirling that Aiyuk's going to be traded to the Steelers or to the Browns or to the Patriots, or I think there were a couple others in there, not many, but yeah, it was just ridiculous. But if you've watched any of my past episodes this whole off season, I have been saying that Aiyuk wasn't going anywhere, and lo and behold, he hasn't gone anywhere. He's staying right here with the 49ers, and that's awesome news. Aiyuk, who's only 26, he had an outstanding season last year with career highs across the board, including just a hair over 1,300 receiving yards, 75 receptions, and 7 touchdowns. He's proven himself to be one of the most talented wide receivers in the league, and it's clear that the 49ers see him as a key part of their future, which, go figure. I would want him. I want him on our team. I think he's awesome. The deal puts him right up there with some of the highest paid receivers. In the NFL, which of course is well deserved. I mean, we all saw that catch. What was it? The Lions game. The Lions game, that kind of bobbled catch. He would have got pass interference there anyway, but he caught the damn thing. That was awesome. That just right there shows you the kind of grit and talent and everything that Brandon Aiyuk has. And he definitely deserves the money he's gotten. I just wish it hadn't taken so long. Yeah, they're both sides. Both sides had their issues. Both sides could have handled it differently. The one thing I do have to say is I'm actually leaning more towards, I think, a decent amount of it, maybe not Brandon Aiyuk himself, but his agent, kind of pushing him to do one thing or another. I don't know for sure. This is not fact. This is just me speculating because I remember how stupid I was in my 20s, and Brandon Aiyuk is still in his 20s. I don't know, some of us older fans can understand how goofy we were in our 20s. NFL players are in their 20s are still human. They they're just like us, really. They just make more money. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to fall for this, that, and the other. I think his agent had a lot to do with how long this stretched out. Um, so I'm leery on it. It's finally done. We can put it to rest, but that's just my opinion. I think this is a lot of this is on more his agent than him himself, because like I said, being in your 20s, not a lot of us are the smartest people in the world. All right, so but of course that's not all that the 49ers have been dealing with for drama. Uh, it's not the hugest drama, but it's a little drama because we really could use Trent Williams, and that's who I'm going to talk to about next. He still hasn't signed, and he's not he wasn't a hold in, he's a hold out. He's not even at practice. He's not hanging around the stadium. He's not hanging around the other teammates. He's holding out. And he's looking for more guaranteed money and a raise to make him the highest paid offensive tackle. 49ers are being kind of hesitant, but history, if it's any indication, he's likely to sign before the season opener. The team needs him. We all know that. They're only an average offensive line without him. They know that it's going to happen. At least I really hope so, because Trent he's playing he can play this game because he knows he can just okay, you don't want to pay me, I'll just retire. So I think it'll happen. Yeah, we definitely need him for the Week 1 game against the Jets. This yawning thing. This is what happens when you try to do a pod at almost midnight in Central Time, but that's all right. And by the way, not a beer. This is, I don't know if you can see it with the glare. Sprecher. It's a brewery here in Wisconsin. Awesome sodas, not just beer. And that's what that is, an orange soda. Anyway, so speaking of the Jets, we all know what happened to them last year. They thought they were going to have this awesome season with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback, and who the person that hurt him last year is now with us. Leonard Floyd last year. I don't think he obviously did it on purpose, but yeah, it should be interesting now that he's on our team and he's facing Aaron Rodgers Week 1 again. If Aaron Rodgers makes it through the game, I think the Jets are going to have a better season. Obviously, going to have a better season than they did last year. Last year, they finished 7-10. They didn't have the greatest quarterback in the world. I think Zach Wilson is like a backup or a third stringer even somewhere. I don't know where. So, yeah, they had their issues last year, but their defense was still pretty good considering. Um, so I think that's something that we can't just sit and excuse me again. We can't sit and assume we're just going to roll over them. I think this is going to be a closer game than is anticipated, but I think the Niners will still win. Um, the 49ers are stacked on both sides of the ball, of course. We signed Aiyuk. Now that's all good, and we still have pretty much all of our main weapons back. Um, I think the Jets did pick up a couple good players as well, so it's going to be a good game. And as I said, I don't think it's going to be it's not going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a closer game than people realize. And I think Rodgers isn't going to get hurt. But he will get sacked a couple of times. At least I hope so. I hope Nick Bosa and Leonard Floyd both get at least one sack each. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? The 49ers roster, speaking of, we will slide into that now. They did have to get their roster to the 53-man, and they did. It's, of course, led by Brock Purdy, and I somewhat said, I don't think we still know who number 2 and number 3 will be. Is it going to be Allen and um, wow, I'm Dobbs. I don't know why my brain just decided to do that. Allen and Dobbs or Dobbs and Allen. Who's going to be number 2? Who's going to be number 3? I'm happy that they did get Mordecai onto the practice squad. I think some good development for him, and he might be a good backup later on in his career. We still have, of course, uh, George Kittle, Debo, Aiyuk, like I said, CMC, Jordan Mason behind him now with people going on IR. So I think we're pretty good on offense. And of course, the defense, we picked up Leonard Floyd and a few others, and we still have Nick Bosa. We still have Fred Warner. Hufanga's come back. Hopefully, he'll be playing week 1. I think he will. And Dre Greenlaw will be back in the season at some point. It's unfortunate he won't be back right away. Maybe after our bye week, that would be good. Come back the second half of the season and finish up. And of course, we don't know. Obviously, it's way too soon to even consider whatever Ricky Pearsall coming into the games with the shot. Since he was released fairly quickly, and like the miracle that it was, nothing vital was actually hit, and it was through and through. I haven't done any research on how fast a bullet wound heals like that, but I'm sure he will not be playing at least, I'm going to say, first 3 games. Maybe he'll be back for the 4th. Maybe they'll do the short-term IR thing, and he'll miss the first 4 games, and he'll be back for the 5th game. That would be all right. As much as I would love to have seen him when I go to the game for week 2 against the Vikings, I would rather him be healthy. Let him heal up. So there is a lot to be excited about our team, despite the scary news with Ricky Pearsall. It's good that he's out of the hospital already, and he's healing up, and he's gonna be okay. But it is starting up. It's starting to look good for the season. We got pretty much everybody back. We just got to sign Trent, and it's going to shape up to be an exciting one. That's for sure. It's exciting season. I actually I had to take some vacation time just so I could come home early so I can watch the game. I'm on a second shift job at the moment, so I'm going to get out at 6:45 and be home before the game starts. Central Time. I'm in Wisconsin, remember? So I can't wait for the first game. Next week's episode will happen after the game. I'll watch the game. I'll give my initial how responses to the game, how it went. There's another podcast that I watch, which they give out game balls. Maybe I'll do that. Who did the best? That sort of thing. So we'll go over that. So next week it'll be Monday night after the game that I'm going to be on. That I'll do my recording, and then the following week I will be in Minnesota. Maybe I'll do a little bit of a live if I see anybody at the Mall of America while I'm there. I'm going to get up there on Saturday. Of course, we're going to do a little shopping, my wife and I. So if I happen to see like a large group of 49er fans while I'm at the Mall of America, maybe I'll sit down and, hey, be my first guest, that sort of thing. Hopefully that'll be fun. No, hopefully it will be fun. Doesn't matter what's going on. So hopefully you'll catch all that. Let me know if you see anything I can improve on in the next couple of weeks. Before I go, go watch my test lives and let me know. But that is all for today's update. We'll keep you a close eye on how Ricky Pearsall's recovery is going. Maybe I'll do a quick short. I did a short, first one, but it's only like 15 seconds it gives you. I don't know if there's a way to make that more. I'll have to look into that. But maybe I'll do a quick short if I hear something good about Ricky Pearsall's recovery or any other spontaneous thing that happens with the 49ers. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more updates. Your support helps me keep this thing going, and I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you that have already subscribed. I'm happy I was able to hit that 50 mark so I can go live. It doesn't sound like a lot, I know, 50. But I'm working on it. I've gotten some more input on what I can do to improve that aspect to try to get more people to see it. And if anyone here has ever done a podcast or does their own podcast of anything, it doesn't matter what it is, I'll take any input I can get. Much appreciated. Oh, one last thing. Let me know how my new mic went. If you can hear me better than my previous episodes, I think I'm going to stick with it. I kind of like it. So, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll all see you after the game Monday night against the Jets. Finally, the regular season is here. Go Niners!